Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the ELC AMX Biz, or AMX ELC Biz, whichever way you want to look at it. It's a Tier 5 French light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire, and this one is under the command of Red Dog Alpha 1. Now, this little light tank actually has been around since the start of the game, and the reason I called it ELC AMX at the start is back when the game started, a long time ago, 2010 I think it was, in the beta phase, it was known as the ELC AMX, and the reason for that is it's part of the ELC project, the Engin Léger de Combat, or light combat vehicle of the French army. It was part of a project to actually produce a prototype tank destroyer, not a light tank, that could be flown out with the troops, the airborne troops, to the colonies. France did have, and still does have, some colonies around the world, and they felt the need to actually have a tank that could go out there. Oh, he spotted an enemy, puts a 90mm round into the Stug High Aslains G. Now, he's armed with the 90mm, which is capable of 240 alpha, penetrating 120mm of armour, and with the premium rounds, it'll go through 150. Oh, that Stug was very obliging there, and he's been taken out of the game by a T-34 on our team. Now, there are two different types of gun you can have in this, a 75mm or a 90mm. The standard stock gun is a short barrel 75, which is not very good actually, it's fairly inaccurate. But the second gun, the middle gun, the 75mm, can turn the turret all the way around. In actual fact, in real life, the 90mm gun could turn the entire way round, but they couldn't do it while they were driving. In fact, in the game, you can only turn it 15mm either side of the centre of the vehicle, and it's got only one driver who's actually reclined inside the hull, and the gunner is half in and half out the tunnel, and the gunner's also the commander. Now, the 90, as I said, the 90mm turret could turn the entire way around, but it could only do it whilst the vehicle was stationary, because it meant obviously that the commander had to move within the turret if he was going to bring the gun all the way around. But Wargaming have actually brought the 75mm, the middle gun, which has decent accuracy and 115 alpha. I think it's 115 or it's 110. No, it's 110. They've got that gun in the game instead of having the 90mm turn all the way around. Now that T-50 seems to be coming down the river towards us, so Red Dog Alpha 1 got into the bushes to make sure he couldn't see him, but he's having a quick look. There he is! Looks like he's headed towards the town, and he's taking fire. Red Dog Alpha 1 lines himself up, auto aims on. Oh, he missed him! And I think he did get seen. Yep, he did, so he'll have to move. Otherwise, he could be on the receiving end of a shell. He's chasing after the T-1. Oh, crumbs! Almost flipped it there. I think that was the ground. It wasn't Red Dog Alpha 1 who did that. That T-50 is taking a lot of fire, and he's finally gone down to our Panzer IV Aslains H. Now, there is a prototype of this tank actually at the Musée de Blind in Saumur, France. In fact, there's a lot of prototype tanks in that museum. You can't see anywhere else. In fact, there's some really nice tanks, including an ELC even 90. Oh, he got the kill! He took out the T-34. He was down to his last few hit points, and he got him with one nice, accurately aimed shot at his rear. He's now aiming at a M4A1, but there's a Panzer T-25 off to the left who's actually lower on hit points, and now he's going to go for this guy, which is a DSPZ. Managed to get one round into him. I think he's trying to put another one in. He's still reloading. You know, that DSPZ's not very happy. Here he comes. Gets another one into him, but he doesn't kill him outright. And the DSPZ was looking in our direction but couldn't see us, because I think the bush mechanic was actually in effect. There's the M4. Tries to get around into him. I'd be worried about that DSPZ. He looks like he's headed this way. He might be trying to get revenge. Revenge is a big motivation for some players. Once they get hit by another enemy tank, they want to take that tank out. And that M4A1 is refusing to come out from behind that house. And the DSPZ is getting very close. He's on the minimap. Oh, and we just got hit by him. I think that was a 75mm round. So Red Dog Alpha 1 back down the hill. Here's the DSPZ just over the lip of that hill. Red Dog Alpha 1, the T67's gone down. The Panzer T25's gone down as well. So I think he can go after this DSPZ now. He's just come over the edge, locks on. Nice kill. Clean kill. Once you've locked onto a target, you just release the keys actually and let the vehicle swivel around and then fire that round into the side, especially when it's a 90mm round. Oh, he's taking fire from the Panzer IV Ausführung H. So he's wiggling to, or waggling to try and get out of the way of him. He's only got the 75mm gun, that guy, so thank goodness it wasn't a derp gun, because the armour on the ELC is very, very light indeed. It's only, if I remember correctly, 25mm at the front of the vehicle, the hull, 10 at the sides, 15 at the rear, and the turret's only got 20mm at the front, 15 at the sides, and 10 at the rear. I think he just drove into a rock while he was watching while he was going. Yeah, he wasn't looking where he was going forward, he was looking back at the enemy. Fires one round into the M4A1. Easy to get through the armour with the 90mm. Wait for the reload, it's so long. He's got 13.71 seconds. Oh, now that one didn't go through, and in fact, I think it went high and to the right. Standard reload is 14 seconds long, so he's only reduced it a little bit so far. But this shot should go in because it's saying, penetration indicator saying yes. Yes, he got him. So he's now got 3 kills. Of course, the first one being the T-34, the second one the DSPZ, and now he's got the M4A1. There's still 4 enemy tanks out there, so he could still get a Top Gun. Okay, the Panzer IV, the one who hit him. Oh, no, he went a bit too far forward there. He can't get a shot on the guy. He's backing up a bit. Trying to get lined up. Oh, and the Panzer IV has been killed by our M10 RBFM. So, Red Dog Alpha 1's going to go through the castle. Let's see if he can find the enemy Arty. There's a Griller, an M10 RBFM, and a T-34. Now, the ELC was actually made by AMX under, I think it was under license from Giat, which was the company that actually built them, Giat Industries, under AMX. And that's why it's got the AMX in the name. That's Ateliers de Construction d'ici de Montreux, I think it is. Or I'm probably butchering that in French. My French isn't that great, but oh well. The vehicle only weighs 6 tons. It weighs very, very light indeed. And of course that 90mm gun, it didn't carry that much in the way of ammunition actually, because it was so light. And there's the Griller. He's loaded, ready to go. Just lock on. Yep, he got the round in, but now he needs to stay behind the guy because that Griller could be loading at this moment. And if he does allow the Griller to get a clean shot, he will take him out. Let's see, he's loaded. Okay, that should be it. And nice clean kill. The engine for this vehicle was actually up front next to the driver, and a lot of French tanks actually have the engine up front on the right with the driver on the left hand side of the vehicle. Oh, T-34's coming to sight, and he's in that little alleyway where tanks normally snipe up the Zeppelin. No sign of the M10 RBFM. Now the easiest way to deal with that T-34 would be to actually drive straight down to the huts or the barn next to the cap circle, then go the right side round it so you keep the rock between you and the enemy, and you can drive up to the rocks, and once you're there you've got him pinned. because he'll be so close to you, proximity spotted. He won't be able to move either side without your teammates being able to get a shot. The M10 RBFM and the T34 are up on the hill, so if he goes down there, if Red Dog goes and spots for them, they'll know which side of the rock he's going, and if he decides to come out and attack Red Dog Alpha 1, they'll get a shot at him. He's not moving yet. I think you're going to have to go down there because he's not going to come out otherwise. Okay. Apparently there were 36 shells in the real AMX ELC. In this vehicle, I think with the 90mm you get 44 rounds, and with the 75mm you get 60. So, oh, train went down. He's coming out. Oh, we took 1 round from the T34. That was the 76mm, I think. Or maybe it was the it's the 57mm. Sorry. The T34 is now pinned. He's asking for help and the teammates are coming down. Looks like the T34 is going to come first. There's the Arty helping out by stunning the T34. Red Dog's ready for the moment he can get that guy in front of his gun. T34 is going around the other side. This is good. Okay, the enemy T34 is engaging our guy. Only killed him, but now Red Dog can kill him. Yep, beautiful. Teamwork there. And by letting his teammate go around the corner first, he kept that guy interested whilst he was getting in a position to shoot. Now I think the M10 RBFM is still round the corner, because that's where he was last spotted, in grid square B9. I think he's still around there. The M10 RBFM's decided to cap whilst all that was going on. And I have the feeling that Red Dog Alpha 1 is going to wait here for the moment and see if the M10 comes out to play, and if he does, then he'll get around into him. He's only 45 hit points away from actually getting the high caliber, or at least 20% of the enemy hit pool. He's already completed 2 parts of the mission, whatever the mission was. And a quick look at that. Damage and, oh, completion with honours he'll get. Because he's already got enough damage for that as well. Now, is he round here? Yes, he is! Okay, try and get a decent shot. Oh, took one. But he fires one in and he's got enough hit points to get 20%. So it's a possible high caliber. And he's now getting underneath that M10's gun because he took a hit in his gun in. And I think the enemy, our teammate's going to cap out. Yes, he's capped out. So we're not going to get the kill. Not going to get the top gun. But at least it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats. And that was an ace tanker game. And not just any ace tanker. That was a first ace tanker for Red Dog Alpha 1 in the AMX ELC. Says, I've got a new toy and I love it. Well, yeah, once you've found something you really do enjoy playing, it can be a lot of fun. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, just 1 short of getting that top gun. And 1/3 of the enemy team, I don't think he could have got the top gun actually. It's not just the M10 that was capping, but that if he tried to go up that slope to get at the enemy M10, I think he probably would have put a round into him and that would have finished off his game. So it was actually the right thing to do, was to sit there, even though his gun was damaged and everything, and just wait for the cap out to complete the game. He did get a duelist for taking down 2 enemy tanks who damaged him, and he got a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks and surviving, as well as a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. But sadly, he didn't get the high caliber, even though he qualified by getting 20%. Somebody else must have got it. His win rate from that battle was 16,138. It's a very high score indeed. It means that he played the AMX ELC incredibly well. Let's have a look at the team score and see how everyone else did. Well, he definitely got the highest damage on his team because he got 1,989 hit points of damage, but the high caliber actually went to the T-34, that last one in the alleyway who was fighting it out against us. Yes, 2,126 hit points of damage went to him and he picked up the high caliber instead. And the third highest damage in the game went to the M10 RBFM, the enemy one at the end. He got 1,361 hit points and some of that belonged to Red Dog Alpha 1. When it came to kills though, it was top of the table with 5. The next high scorer was the T-34 with 4 kills, and 3 kills went to the M10 RBFM who capped out. He got an Invader medal for doing that. And 2 kills went to the enemy M10 RBFM, so he wasn't a bad player. He was actually quite good, but he was holed up in a defensive position. It was very difficult to get him out of there. Maybe Arty was the only one who could possibly damage him. When it came to base XP, it was Red Dog Alpha 1. He got the top in that one as well. So he's got the top in 2 columns. 1,092, which means he's the only player to get over 1,000. 718 went to the M10 RBFM on his own team. And 645 went to the T-34 on the enemy team. He fired 16 rounds in that game. Got 12 direct hits and 12 penetrations on the enemy. In fact, he did very well because he used standard ammo throughout that game. He loaded a premium round, but then he unloaded it again because he didn't think he needed it. 1,989 hit points of damage, of which 238 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. All 4 were penetrations. Yeah, I'm afraid, as I said, the armor on this vehicle is diabolically bad. But the reason is that it was actually designed to go reasonably fast. And it was also very lightly armoured. It's got a top speed of 60 kilometers an hour and 20 in reverse. And that's partially down to the fact that it's very, very lightweight. But the problem is that that lightweightness also means that you're vulnerable to enemy fire. It was supposed to be a very big gun. In fact, it was designed as a tank destroyer, not a light tank. So it was designed to snipe at the enemy from a long distance. In fact, many players using the 90mm will snipe at the enemy from bushes because it's so easy to get very bad damage on the enemy with that 90mm. Very long range. He spotted 4 enemy vehicles in that game, got 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed and 700 hit points of spotting assist. On a free-to-play account, he earned 28,895 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, just standard ammo, 22,335 credits profit. 1,092 base XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,184 experience points altogether. Yeah, the AMX ELC is one of those tanks where you actually, if you can get the hang of it, either with the 90mm or the 75mm, it can be a really fun tank to play because you can have a big influence on a battle by either spotting the enemy or actually taking the enemy out, especially on maps like this or on Prokhorovka or Malinovka. It's one of those really useful tanks to get around the battlefield. It's also the next step up to getting to the AMX 12 ton, which can be fun as well as the AMX 1375. All of these little French light tanks can get good results, so I'm sure that Red Dog Alpha 1's going to enjoy when he moves up the tech tree to the next one along the line. I hope you enjoyed that battle. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And do remember, we've got a second channel called The General where you can watch great replays with short battles that only last about, 15 minutes or 5 minutes to 15 minutes, with usually huge numbers of kills in them as well. Oh, and I did say I'd give you a look at the real AMX ELC. There's only one of them. It's a prototype, and there it is in the Musée de Blind in France. Yeah, little cute little thing, isn't it? It's very tiny indeed, but yeah, it's a great little tank in the game. Thanks for watching.